Hey everybody, Adrienne here in the group Optimize Joy. Last week I posted a post where I shared my why I do this. So I wanted to know, and I want to make sure that you get really present with your why. Why are you here? I'm asking because I named this group Optimize Joy for a reason. I could have named it Improve Joy, but I named it Optimize Joy. So let's really distinguish that, right? There is a big difference. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not going to get tips here or anything else like that, but there is a very big difference between wanting to improve your life and wanting to optimize it, all right? When you're improving, it's more about, I want to make something better. I'm here and it's good, but I want to make it better, right? And better is great. There's nothing wrong with better. And the thing about better is that it's always kind of like these little steps, these little tips, or look at it differently, or let's make these little tweaks or little adjustments or things like that. And that is improving. And that's a great thing. Your joy will improve being here. All right. But then there's optimize. And optimize is making something as effective and functional as possible so that you can minimize your time and maximize joy in as quickly as possible. So that's what I want to know. Are you here for better? Are you here to improve? Or are you here to optimize? Now, let me tell you, a little bit more about how this works, right? In order to optimize our joy, we actually have to release our triggers. You cannot optimize your joy if you get triggered at every dang thing that happens. So in this group, there's going to be times where, I might say something or bring something up that does trigger. And that's going to be a little sign to you that, hey, you're bumping into a wall right there. And you can't optimize with it there. So instead, look at the trigger. Release the trigger. Let go of the trigger. All right? So it doesn't trigger you anymore. Because that's really what I want for you. I'm hoping that that's really what you want for you, is to almost be trigger-less. All right? Where you're not constantly bumping into who your boss is, or how your relationship is, or how your kids are treating you, or, the various things that we have coming up in our life. I want it to be triggerless for you. So it can be, you know what? That happened. It was circumstantial. And you know what? Forward on. Right? So really take a look at that. Are you here to optimize? Or are you here just to make your situation a little bit better? All right? There's that. Next thing, I wrote down some steps that I wanted to talk about, which is how to become quantum. I don't know if there's anybody here who's really into quantum energy and quantum physics, all that kind of stuff. And, I really wanted to talk about actually becoming quantum. I was watching something, I think it was probably about a year ago. It was a kid named, I'm just going to look at it, Jacob Barnett. I don't know if you have a chance to look at him or not, but I think he was 11 at the time, and he speaks. He's an international speaker, and he has autism. And he was talking about how he learned, in this particular speech, he was talking about how he learned algebra. Sorry, couldn't think of it for a second. He was talking about how he learned algebra, and how, that he learned it, I think, in 8 weeks. It was, a bunch of different levels of it or something, but he learned it in 8 weeks. And he said it wasn't just because I was learning it. It was because I was becoming it. And, you know, there is a difference. Like if you're already on your own spiritual journey, you're a spiritual being living in a human body. So you're already on your journey. And as you're going through things and learning new things, then there's going to be, you know, a collection of knowledge that you have there. And then it becomes, what do you do with it? What do you do with the knowledge? Do you just keep collecting it? Or at what point do you actually become the knowledge? At what point do you actually become the quantum, you know, become the energy, become the master manifester of your own destiny? At what point does that actually happen? You know, that you decide to really say, you know what, I am going to not only learn about this, but I'm going to apply it to the point that I become it, to the point that I'm so open that the knowledge just floods in, you know? So let's talk about the steps to becoming it. All right? Step 1, you got to bust through your limiting beliefs. That's the step. You got to take all of those things head on. Anytime that you feel triggered, you need to take it head on and you got to bust through it. All right? Now, again, I've talked about that, the pearl or the onion, where you can do it either one layer at a time, where you're actually pulling back the layers and then you're eventually getting, you know, to like the little grain of sand inside the pearl. Or you can just like laser focus straight into the center, blow up the whole thing, find out the biggest one that's there that all of the others piled on top of, and you know, then slowly go through the remains and kind of go, oh, look, that one, that little one was there. That one was kind of funny, you know? So there's that way to do it, or there's the process of, you know, kind of reading and taking your time and peeling it back slowly. Whichever way you want to do it, whichever way works for you, however quickly or slowly you want to get there is totally different. I just know, you know, we kind of live in that time of I want it now. You know, you see a big screen TV and I want it now. You see a car and I want it now. So why wouldn't you want you now? When do you want you? When do you want to become and fully be without hesitation when you speak, without terror when you talk or when you stand or when you share, or without fear of being vulnerable? At what point do you just step up and say, I'm going to fully become me? 100%, all of it. All the good, all the bad, all the right, all the wrong, all of it, right? At what point do you step up and say, I'm not afraid of any of me? Not afraid of it. So first step, bust through your limiting beliefs. Break through those things. Take on the triggers and get through them. Whichever way you decide to do it. Laser focus or peeling back. Second step is that as you do this, you'll realize that inside of your body, you're actually creating more space. You're creating more space for the real you to live. All right? So it's not going to be you living small inside yourself with all of these layers of why you can't do things, or with all of these beliefs of how others view you. All right? It's going to slowly or quickly, again, whichever way you decide, it's going to actually start providing space for you to live free inside. So that's step 2, is provide space for yourself. Bust through the layers so you have space inside. Step 3 is fully embody me energy. Okay, so once you have all of that space, you say, okay, I am ready for all of me. I am ready for all of my good, all of my bad, all of my right, all of my wrong, all of my should, woulds, coulds, shouldn'ts, wouldn't, all of those. I'm ready for all of those. And you just fully embody the me energy. And then what was that? Step 3. So step 4, at that point, once it's embodied, you actually activate it. You activate who you are. So you start saying, okay, not only have I embodied me, but I am ready to turn it all on, all the time, anywhere I'm at. Okay. Or anywhere I am. All right. And then step, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be that once you actually activate all of that energy that you embodied, then at that point, you've become quantum. All right. You have insane energy running inside that you can learn how to deal and how to maneuver within. So you actually start, like, you become quantum. It's hard to explain that, but if you're into quantum things, then it actually becomes that. You can feel it. There's no more hiding. There's no more fear of who you are or what you'll do or what others will think or how they'll react. There's no more fear because you've eliminated the triggers. Okay, you've eliminated the triggers that might actually have you react. All right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't number them. I should have. 6. After you become quantum, it's time to design. And you design through intention. All right. What are you going to set up? All right. What are you going to intend? And then is that intention for only you, or is that intention for you and others, right? So you set up the intention. And then the last one, 2 more. So that was 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, after you set up intention, that's when you begin to manifest. And manifesting is not just spiritually bypassing. Like I've talked about this before, but spiritually bypassing is when you're kind of just collecting light, right? You're not necessarily acknowledging where you are or what you're going through, but you're collecting light, all right? So it's not just about the spiritual bypass of it. It's actually to be first what you are designing, what you are intending to actually be that first. All right. That is manifesting. And then after that, then you realize that you've leveled up. You're playing up in life. And not only are you playing up, but you're now playing whole person out. You're playing whole out in life. So those are the steps for becoming quantum, manifesting and playing up in life. All right? But again, really, really check into, why are you in this group? Is it just to better things? Little bits and pieces here, just make life a little bit better because today it kind of sucked? Or is it, no, I am going to optimize my effectiveness, my functionality, my joy, my reward, my effort now. All right? Is that what's happening? Is that why you're here? Are you here to optimize or just improve? It's okay to be here for both, but I would really like to hear from you on what's driving you today. Okay? All right. If you are interested in the quantum thing, or if you're having issues with breakthroughs, I know that can be difficult. I've had my fair share. So if you're experiencing any of that kind of stuff, contact me, because I guarantee you I can get the same results I get from my clients, and they break through a ton of crap. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.